Coloring books are currently exploding on Amazon right now, and creators are making hundreds to thousands of dollars by simply creating and selling coloring books. And you can as well tap into this gold mine by also uploading unique coloring books on Amazon KDP for sale, which is why in today's video, I'll be showing you how to create an entire story coloring book with just a single AI prompt. Yes, and all of this, you can do it with consistent characters and coherent storylines. Now, this kind of story coloring books are really great for kids, and a lot of people really enjoy getting this kind of coloring books because they are engaging for kids and provide some sort of lesson and also a great form of activity. If you look at my screen right now, you can see all sort of story coloring book. Now, to be able to create this kind of story coloring book, the first thing you want to do is you want to have your book specification. If we should look at Amazon right now, you can see most of the books here have this, the rectangular format. So for the purpose of our book that we're creating for this video, we'll be going with a dimension of 8.5 by 11 inches. Our book cover type is going to be paperback. Our bleed settings is going to be with bleed. And our page count is going to be 32 pages. Now, you may want to make your own page count more so that it can have a more perceived value and just so that you are able to price higher. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to set up your page size. And to do that, you want to head over to Amazon KDP Help Topics. You want to go to Book Formatting, format your paperback, and click on the Set Trim Size, Bleed, and Margin. Over here, you will be able to get the exact page size that you will use in creating your coloring pages based on the specifications of your book. So we're going to go over to Trim Size here, and we're going to click the drop down for the first one. This one is applicable to every other country else, while this one is solely applicable to Japan. So we're going to click the drop down here. And we're going to go to the dimension that we've initially specified for our book, which is 8.5 by 11. You can see it over here. However, for this is the trim size here. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to bleed, because if you remember our book specification, we are using bleed. So we're going to go over with bleed and go to the page size. So the page size without bleed, you can see here is our page size without bleed. Now, what we want to do is we want to use the counterpart with bleed. So this is the page size we are going to be using because we are leveraging bleed. So we're going to copy that. Next thing is we'll head over to Canva. We're going to click the plus icon here. We want to click custom size, and you want to change the units to inches. That's very important because our page dimension is in inches, and of course the width is 8.625 and the height is 11.25. And we're going to go ahead and create a new design. So now that we have a new design, the next thing we want to do is we want to start adding our margins. We're going to go again over to Amazon KDP Help Topics, and we're going to scroll down. When we scroll down, here's where we can see our margins, and you can see page count from 24 to 150 pages. So remember that our page count for the purpose of this video is 32 pages. So we're going to be leveraging this first row here. And for our inside margin is going to be 0.375. And our outside margin with bleed is as well 0.375. We're going to go to Canva and we're going to begin to add our margin. You can see my margin lines are already showing. If yours are not there already, you can simply use the Shift plus R to add or remove it. Alternatively, you can simply go to File, you simply go to Settings, and you can click Show Rulers and Guide. Once you've done that, the next thing is you want to pull your rulers all the way to form the exact margin, which is 0.375. So we're going to pull the upper part. So here, this is 0.389. You may not be able to get the exact number, but it is best you use the number that is closest to it, and it is better more than less. So we're going to also pull from this angle here, and here we got 0.382. Now we've gotten for this part, what we want to do is want to add all the margins around the whole of the edges. Now, to be able to simply do that, you want to click on Elements, and you want to simply add a square shape. You want to pull that square shape to this small square here and reduce the size until it's a perfect fit. You'll be able to see the lines on the edges to make you know that it's a perfect fit. Once you've gotten that, you can then duplicate it, and you want to bring it all the way down to the adjacent part of your page. And again, you can then pull this to meet the top of that square. Once you see a red line, it's an indication that it's exactly there. And as well, you want to bring the line from here over to the edge of the square. Again, you can see that it's already there. And now we're done with this square. We're going to just delete it because we no longer have any need for it. As well as this one, we are also going to delete it. The next thing we want to do is we are going to then duplicate these pages because we have created the margin for this page. Now we're going to do it 31 times because our page count is 32 pages. You're going to click on this and click on duplicate page. To make it super easier, you can click on the grid view and we can just simply copy this and duplicate it. So now we have 32 pages over here, and of course we can go back to the first one. This is where we want to start imputing our coloring images. Now remember that I told you that we're going to be creating the entire of our coloring book with a single prompt. And now I'm going to be showing you how you can leverage on it using AI to give you that single AI prompt. The first thing you want to do is you want to head over to ChatGPT because first of all, you want to create your story for the coloring book. Remember, it's a story coloring book, but then also has the corresponding coloring image for kids to color. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to head over to ChatGPT to create our story, because remember, it's a story coloring book and we need a story so that we can be able to create the corresponding coloring pages for kids to color. And I'm going to tell ChatGPT, I would like to create a kids story coloring book. Give me some story ideas that I can use for my kids coloring book. The moral lesson should be centered around kindness because this is a coloring book for kids and you want it to be more of educative and give some sort of lesson so that it can appeal a lot more to parents who are looking for a way to give their kids some good lessons as well as create some form of activity for their kids. And ChatGPT has gone ahead to give us some really good story outline. You can see the little hedgehog who shared his apples, Luna the star, and stuff like that. So if we should scroll down, you can simply check the one that you like. If you're not okay with what ChatGPT gives, you can ask ChatGPT to give you 10 more, 20 more, 15 more as you like. However, I like this Emma and the magic paintbrush, and this is really good. This is the story idea where Emma discovers a magic paintbrush that brings her drawing to life, and instead of keeping it a secret, she uses it to help her friends, a bird with a broken wing, a squirrel with no acorns, and more. So I'm going to go with Emma and the magic paintbrush. And now I'm going to tell ChatGPT, I will go with Emma and the magic paintbrush. Give me a coloring book story outline for this story. It should not have more than 500 characters because we don't need much, because the AI tool we are going to be putting, it doesn't even need you to tell in-depth details. It's going to do all of the work for you. By the way, if you are finding this video helpful, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to join the family, and do not forget to smash the notification bell icon so when next I drop a new video, YouTube will notify you first. And now ChatGPT has gone ahead to give us the simple outline here, which we are going to use to create the entirety of our coloring book. Now we're going to go over to this particular AI tool here, which is going to help us create this coloring book with a single prompt. I've left the link in the description. You want to click over in the link and it will take you to this unique AI tool. Now this AI tool has a lot of features. Now for this one, we're going to be using the coloring book generator. With this coloring book generator, you can effortlessly create coloring pages with a flowing story, consistent characters. You can see an example. We are all familiar with Tortoise and the Hare race, where the hare overtook tortoise and all of that. And you can see this is a typical example that this AI tool did. So now let us implement that. You want to first of all set your character. You can either upload your image if you have a specific image in mind, or you can use from the text description. So we do not have an image and we're going to use from text description. We are going to then put our storyline here and of course impute our character details. So we're going to go back to ChatGPT, copy our outline, go back to this AI tool and paste it here. We're going to go again to ChatGPT. This time we're going to tell ChatGPT to give us the character descriptions of Emma and other characters in the story. And we're going to just copy all of it. The only characters that you need to add here are the character that you want to be consistent. And in this case, it is Emma, who is, helping people with her magic paintbrush. And the other characters, I just take them out. So your character as well as your story outline Each of them should not be more than 500 characters. We're going to click 10 pages to generate because of the number of page counts. But however, this particular AI tool can create up to 20-page coloring book. And our dimension, we're going to be using like the rectangle because we're using 8.5 by 11. If you are using a square, if your book dimension, your coloring book dimension is like a square shape, you want to use the square here. And again, we're going to also remove the watermark and click on generate. So now this particular AI tool is going to give us the characters, and you can see all of the characters. If we should look at it, there is no distortion. It's looking all beautiful. So you want to choose between the first one and the second one that it has given us, which of them we prefer. So I'm going to go with the second one because it looks more bolder and a bit thicker in terms of the outline. And we're going to click on the next step. So you can see that this particular AI tool, with just that particular prompt of the storyline, this AI tool has given us the outline of each of the pages by itself. The page where Emma finds a magic brush. Emma is holding the magic brush. She helps the hotbed, helps the hungry squirrel, and every other thing. And all we need to do is just simply click start generating, and this AI tool is going to create from start to finish every coloring page that we need for our coloring book. And in just a matter of minutes, this particular AI tool has generated a full coloring book for us. You can see the image here looking so neat, clean, and very well designed, reflecting what the coloring book even talks about. You can see the Emma here with the paintbrush. And if we should scroll to the next page, this is, the coloring page. And if you look at it, it's a consistent image. And the unique thing about this is if you look at it, there are no distortions. The images are clean with thick, bold, clear outlines. And if we should scroll, you can see each of the images representing what the coloring page talks about up to the page 10. And what we want to do is we're going to download it as a zip file. Now, the next thing we're going to do is, now we've downloaded it, is we want to align it or arrange it in our Canva pages, because we're going to add some more unique things just to make our coloring book more desirable. So we're going to go over to Canva. We're going to create a folder. So I simply created the folder because I wanted all of my images to be aligned in the same place. Now, what we are going to do is we're going to first of all start by creating the first page. And what we're going to do is we're going to go back to this AI tool again. And this time we're going to go to image to coloring page. And we're going to upload the cover page. We're going to click preserve faces. You can create as much batches as you want. And I'm going to also click remove watermark. So now you can see that this unique AI tool has given us unique images that we can actually use. So if we should check them out, you can see this is the first one here. If we should check the original image, and we can even slide to compare, you can see the two. This is really unique, right? We can also check the second one, which is like typically also good as well. And as well, the third one also, which is good, but doesn't bring out the magic for us. So we're going to go with the first one because I really like the way the first one is. We're going to download it. And we're going to go back to our Canva image and upload another file, which is the coloring page of the cover page. So we're going to impute that. So we can decide to add this here. And we're just going to make it bold all the way by zooming it out to fit the entire page. And at the back of this page, we are going to leave a blank page. And we are going to add the name page here. So we are going to go put a name. We can add a text over here and say this book belongs to. We can decide to change the fonts. Now what we can do is we can change this to white and add an effect of an outline since we are working with a coloring book. So we can increase the thickness as we choose. Again, we can then add some line below. So we can type line and we can add this here and of course draw it all the way to make it long. You want to make sure it's as centralized as possible. We can add our copyrights over here. So we're just going to change the fonts. So we've added the name page and of course the copyright. We're going to leave a page after it because this page after it serves as the page behind the previous page. So we're going to go over to the next page. And this is where we're going to start adding our coloring images. So we want to add them in accordance to how it is arranged in the story. And we're going to add this first one here, which is when she finds the magic brush. We want to make it as bold as possible. And then we can add a text to indicate what it's about. So we're going to go to the text. We're going to click the subheading here and we're going to add the storyline with it. Now, instead of just this one line as saying Emma discovers a magical paintbrush glowing in her art supplies, we want to make it a bit full, add some feeling to it, but not diverting away from the original storyline, just to, keep it engaging and much more enjoyable. We're going to go over to ChatGPT and say, can you expand the story outline for each of the coloring page to make it more fuller? It should not divert from the original outline, just add more feeling to the story. And then I add the coloring pages outline where she discovers the magic paintbrush. She holds the magic paintbrush, tests it on a flower until the end of the 10th page. And then say, make it easy to read and understand by kids because it's a kid storybook, so that ChatGPT doesn't give us more sophisticated, storylines. And now ChatGPT has gone to expand it a little bit for us. And this is what we can then copy and add to our story coloring book. So we're going to paste that here. We want to increase the length. You can decide to adjust the fonts as you wish. So now we've added the first one, and this is actually great. The next thing is we're going to leave a page and go to the next page. The reason why we're leaving a page, like I said earlier, is because this page is the back of this page. And just in case markers are being used, just so that the colors do not seep into the next page. So we're going to leave this page blank and we're going to go to the next and add our next coloring image. So we're adding this one here and this is looking good. We can as well make it as bold as possible. However, you can see that this is painted somewhat peach and it's supposed to be white because it's a coloring page. So what we can do is we can go to the color and change it to white. We can also click on edit, go to filters and all the way to mono, and I clicked on classic and you can see now that it's removed. Again, I can go to edit, click on adjust, increase the blacks, increase the whites, increase the sharpness and clarity a little bit. And you can see it's much better this way. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this all the way down here. And again, we're going to add text. So what we would do is we'll simply copy the text here. We're going to come here and we're going to paste it. But instead, we're going to go to ChatGPT and we're going to copy the next coloring page story. Back to Canva, we're going to go ahead and we're going to paste that here. Now we'll leave a page again and go to the next one here where we're going to add the third coloring image. If we should go to the coloring AI tool that's helped generate the images, from the next page you can see it's her helping the bird. So now we're going to go to Canva and we're going to add that here. We want to make sure we zoom that out to be as bold as possible. Again, we're going to copy the storyline here. This is just so that we have the same font and the same font size. Now we're going to go back to ChatGPT and again we're going to copy the storyline for that coloring image. We're going to edit it and add it here. Now this is what we're going to be doing for all of the 10 coloring pages, and I'm just going to go off the camera and do that. Once we're done, we're going to come back and go into the next step. So now we are done with the coloring pages and you can see we still have a few pages at the end. So now that we have done the coloring page, what we would like to do, just make it more engaging, because this is like a kid's story coloring book, more like an activity book for them. What we can then do is at the end of the coloring page here, we can then decide to add something like moral lesson and as well add some activities that kids can engage in with regards to the storyline of the book. So here we're going to add moral lesson. So we can add a text here and say moral lesson. We can choose to change the fonts. We want to make it bold here and centralized. And we're going to go to ChatGPT and we're going to tell ChatGPT, now give me some moral lessons to add at the end of the coloring book and some kids activity to add at the end of the coloring book. And ChatGPT has gone ahead to give us. So we're going to copy all of these moral lessons that we're adding. We're going to go back, add a text as well, and we're going to paste that here. We'll change the alignment to the left. And again, we can also change the fonts. And we're just going to make it, really spacious. This is to serve as some form of learning for kids and as well as some activity time for them as well. So now we've done for the moral lessons. We're going to leave a page and go here where we can then add kids activity. So we're going to check what ChatGPT has said we should come up with. And one of it is draw your own magic picture. So we can copy that here. We're going to go back. So this will give them an opportunity to be more creative, to improve their creativity. And we can add that here. So we say draw your own picture. Now we're going to go to ChatGPT again and copy what ChatGPT has stated for the kids to note. Imagine you have a paintbrush like Emma. Draw something you would create to help someone or an animal color it in your favorite colors. So we're going to copy that and we are going to paste that here. We can as well copy the font and the font size and add it here as well. So we're going to leave this gap for them to draw and color it. Again, we're going to leave a space, go on to the next one, go to ChatGPT. And of course, this is find the kindness words, like a small word search where the kids can find the kindness words in the word search. Again, we're going to copy this and paste it just so we have the exact font and font size. We copy this here as well and we're going to paste it here. Now what we can do is go to Canva and search for word search. Canva will give us like some boxes we can use. So we're going to fill it ourselves. We can add this box here. We can make it bold. And now we're going to then add the words we want. So let's copy all of this here and we can go ahead and paste them here. We're going to use this font size as well. We'll copy the size and the font and we're going to paste it here. We can add it here again and add the rest here. So this is good. Now what we can start doing is we want to start adding all of this in the word search and we are going to use a text and we can change the font to something really bold. So we're going to add help to start with. So we can duplicate this here, add it here, add some E, duplicate it, add an L. We can also duplicate it and add P. We can also do for kindness. So we can do it this way. So we've added kindness as well. We can also add magic. So this is how we're going to be doing, adding everything here. So I'm just going to complete it off the camera. We're going to come back to the next step. So now we're done with adding the kindness words. You can see this is help. You can see this is kindness. You can see this is care. You can see this is smile. You can see this is friend. This is magic. And of course, this is share as well. So now we're going to leave a blank page. And again, we're going to go into the next kid activity page that we want to do for the coloring book. And we're going to go back to ChatGPT and ChatGPT says, okay, draw and color a thank you card from the animals to Emma. So we're going to go again, copy this particular heading here just so we get the exact font and font size. Then we are going to copy this as well, color Emma's thank you card. And they say draw and color a thank you card from the animals to Emma. What would the animals say to Emma for helping them? So we're just going to copy this here, draw and color. We'll paste this here. However, we're going to be using the font and font size of this here. So instead of draw, we can say just color a thank you card. Now for the thank you card, we can go again to this AI tool. And this time we're going to use the text to coloring page. And we're going to create a thank you card for Emma. Now you can see we have leveraged the coloring book generator. We've leveraged the image to coloring page. And now we're leveraging the text to coloring page, meaning that this AI tool is like an umbrella tool that contains every single thing that you need for your coloring book. And we can just make it as children. This will be the default. We can generate 2, high print quality, and we're going to remove watermark and we're going to generate. So you can see this is looking good. So I'm just going to download this one here and add it to our page. So now you can see this. We've put this here and this is looking good and it's a very good activity coloring book for kids. And if you scroll, you can see all of the beautiful images that we were able to bring about using AI with the help of this unique AI tool. And now this unique AI tool, I've shown you a few of the features that it actually has. It has free coloring pages that you can actually use. However, when you are doing more themed coloring book like the type we did, which is for a particular story, you will need to leverage others like the text to coloring page, the coloring book generator that you can use to generate with a single prompt. It also has the photo to coloring page that we used to create the first page of the interior pages of our coloring book. It also has batch mode where you are able to give a prompt and it is going to produce it in batches, and as well as the online coloring, which you can use to color. For example, if you want to create your own cover page and color it, this can also help. So this is an all-in-one tool, and with this particular tool you can generate up to 5,000 coloring pages per month, of course when you're subscribed to the business. So they have the monthly and the yearly. So with the yearly plan, of course, it's much more subsidized. However, you can also go and do for the monthly plan, where there's the starter, there's the hobby, there's the professional and the business, and of course the higher the accessibility to the features. Again, like I said, I have linked the AI tool in the description. You want to go ahead, click the link and go check it out. So now we are done with our coloring book, our story coloring book. What we want to do is we want to go ahead and download. So we're going to click on share. We're going to click on download. We're going to change the file type to PDF print, flatten PDF. We're going to choose CMYK and we're going to go ahead and download. The next thing we want to do is we want to create our Amazon KDP cover. Remember, we already have our cover. However, we want to create the back since we already have the front. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead to KDP cover calculator, where we want to get the template we should use when we are creating our cover. So we're going to input our binding type, which is paperback, our interior, which is black and white, our paper type is white paper, our reading direction is left to right, our measurement is in inches, and our interior size is 8.5 by 11. Our page count is 32 pages, and we're going to go ahead and calculate dimensions. So now Amazon KDP has given us the exact cover width and height that we should use for our cover page. So we're going to go ahead and copy this here. As well, we're going to go ahead and still download the template. We'll then head over to Canva, add a custom size, add this here, change the width, and we're going to create a new design. I'm going to zoom into all the part of the screen, and it should be a perfect fit because we use the exact dimension. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add the cover page, which we had created with our AI tool. The reason for us adding this is just so that we are able to note where the front page is, where the back page is, where the text should not be extended beyond. For example, this pink lines around it is an indication that beyond that, any text or any element you add there risks being cut off during the trimming process. Also, for where the barcode is, just so that we do not put any important information that will be covered by the barcode. So we're going to go ahead and add our cover page. We'll pull it down here to the beginning, and we're going to zoom it all the way out. Another thing that you may want to do is to click on edit. You want to click on magic expand, and you could expand this all the way here and this all the way here and click. So it has given us several unique ideas that we can use. I'm going to go with this particular one here. Again, what we are going to do is, because we're not done, we're going to still add a little bit of touch up. We're also going to take this out of it and this one here. Again, what we can do is click on edit and click on magic grab. We can grab this out and as well grab this out. We're going to click on grab. So that way we can easily pull it out and we can delete it. So now we have that part empty. For the back page, we're going to simply add some of our coloring images, just to give an idea of some images that they can find in the coloring book. So I can zoom this in and I can add that here. I can also add this here. I can also add this here. We want to reduce the transparency of this. That way we are able to see the middle line, and just so that we're able to easily centralize this better, we can also add this as well and put it under over here, and as well add this and zoom it out, and we can put it under over here. So you can see this is looking really good. And once all that is said and done, of course, we can increase the transparency back to the way it was. Again, what we can do is you can decide to add your name, either your pen name, just the name that you want to use as the coloring book author. So let's add it here. We can decide to make this brighter a little by going to filters and see how much brighter it can be. You can see this is much better. And once all that is said and done, we're going to take out this template as we have no need for it. So this is how the outward look of our cover page looks like. we can click on share, we can click on download, we can change the file type to PDF print, click on flatten PDF and download it. Now, once that is downloaded, the next thing you want to do is obviously to head over to Amazon KDP and upload your books. If you do not already have an account, you can simply just sign up and log in. It takes less than a minute and it's absolutely free. Once you do that, you want to go ahead, create a paperback book. You want to fill in your book title, your subtitle if you have any of them. You also want to add your author name. Another important thing that you want to do is to add your description. This description is super important because that is where you express what your book is all about. That is where you sell what your book is about. So you give in detail and also including some SEO words that can help you rank when people are searching for this kind of story coloring books. So I've prepared one already and I've added that there. You may also want to select the appropriate category that your book fits in, as is children book, activity, craft and games, and as well activity books, and so category will be coloring book. Our coloring book is actually fiction, and we can save the category. And now one very important part is the keyword aspect. Now in this keyword aspect, this is where you are able to include keywords that people are actually searching for on Amazon.com, just to help your book rank better in order for it to be easily seen or for it to have a higher chance of being seen when people search for it. So we can add stuff like story coloring books kids to 5, kids ages 3 to 5, story coloring book for kids, and of course you can see all of it here. So once you've done that, another thing, you want to input your trim size. We select a different trim size, which is 8.5 by 11. It is with bleed. Our paperback cover, it is glossy because it's more appropriate and more appealing with glossy because of the nature of our book. And this is where I'm going to upload the manuscript as well as the book cover. The next thing you want to do is just simply price your book. You want to price it appropriately and fairly based on the perceived value and also in relation to other books out there that are of the same perceived value. And that will automatically populate for all the other Amazon KDP sites. And once all that is said and done, you want to go ahead and publish your paperback. Now, do note that it takes up to 72 hours before your paperback book is published. This is just so that Amazon can actually check for quality and, of course, customer experience. So you want to make sure that you put in as much effort as possible into designing your coloring book. Now, if you found this video helpful and you love this video, then you certainly love the video that I'm attaching to your screen right now, where I show you another kind of coloring book that is actually working and how you can use AI to be able to put a spin on it and leverage it. So if that sounds interesting to you, want to click the video you see on your screen right now and go check it out. Ciao.